Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so we start our recording. So again, there are three kinds of words: ism, fail, and harf. Ism can be a person, a place, a pronoun, a thing, an idea, an adjective, an adverb, and more. Okay, and in our learning, we're going to talk a lot about ism first. Okay, in fact, as I said, that we have three kind of section. The first section, when you're going to finish your exam, in the first section is going to be all about study about ism. Okay, and inshallah, we'll start about ism today. Okay, then we have fail and harf. Okay, the fail are called their actions. Okay, the fail is a word which is stuck in a past, present, or future tense. Okay, fails are similar to verbs, not exactly like verbs. Okay, because Arabic fail, Arabic actions, the way the words are formed, that is different than English, but it's the same idea. Okay, for example, if I say, I ate breakfast. Okay, so the ate is in the past, so it is a present tense. Or if I say I will go to the masjid today. Okay, so will go is an action that I'm intending to go. Okay, if I say Ahmed prayed the Fajr this morning at masjid. Okay, so he prayed. Okay, it's an action. So these are all fail. But remember, there is no am, is, are. That's just like that in Arabic. Okay, so in English, this thing am is actually is called auxiliary verb. Like say I am a Muslim. But if you translate this one, I am a Muslim, in Arabic, there is no fail in this. Okay, you can say that, brother, in English we call this a fail. There must be an auxiliary verb, but in Arabic, because there's no action there, if I say I am a Muslim, I'm a Muslim. I'm not doing here anything. I'm just telling you something that, I am a Muslim. So in this kind of sentence, there's no fail. So it doesn't mean that every sentence has to have a ism and a fail. Okay, a sentence could be only an ism. Okay, or just a word by itself. Okay, so for now, the fail is a word that is stuck in past, present, or future. So it is the action that is done in the past or future, and it is related to the time. Okay, so it could be just like past tense, present tense, or future tense. Okay, just like English. And the am, is, are, these are not failed, not verb, as in unlike English. Okay, harf. A harf is a word that does not make any sense unless there is another word after it. Okay, now this definition is correct for almost 99% harf. There are some other harf that even by harf itself it makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, but more generally, a harf is a word that does not make sense unless there is another word after it. For example, the English prepositions that are very similar to harf. For example, in. So if I just say, in, doesn't make any sense. If I say from, it doesn't make. But if I say in the car, that makes sense. That I'm going in the car. Okay. If I say, from the masjid, okay, I'm from the masjid. I'm coming from the masjid. Okay. So, but by itself, it doesn't make sense. Now, when I say the first part of this course, we'll be learning about ism. While we're learning ism, we'll be learning some of the harf, because harf works with ism, harf works with fail. Okay, so we're going to learn some harf that works with ism when we are learning about ism. Okay, and then when you start learning about fail, we're going to talk about some harf that works with the fail. Okay, so lesson 1A is there are only three kinds of words in Arabic. Okay, that's the thing you have to remember. Okay, and we're not going to go to Arabic example right away. Okay, as I said, we're going to go slow. Okay, because I know some of you already know probably this stuff. Some of you probably has done this kind of course. Okay, but think about the other people. Okay, some of you maybe has no idea about that before. So let's go slow, inshallah ta'ala, and we'll catch up when the time comes. So three kinds of words: ism, fail, and harf. Okay, and harf is the thing that we're going to learn as along with ism and along with fail. Okay, and the only difference, ism and fail at the moment, we know that ism means kind of like pronoun, noun, action, adverb, all these things. Most of the things comes in the ism. Fail is a very specific group of words. Okay, where it means a real action, okay, and harf is something that doesn't make by its sense by itself most of the time, when unless there's a word after that. Okay, let's look at some properties of an ism. Okay, so every ism, as I said, we're going to start our ism studies. Every ism has four properties. Okay, just like a normal car has four wheels. So every ism must have four properties. Okay, so when you learn that this is an ism, we must see that what are the four properties of that ism. That is our first goal, okay, to learning the isms. Okay, there are many things coming for the isms. Okay, another interesting thing I must mention now, that things that you're learning today, the lesson one, believe me, you will need this in the final lesson also, in the final exam also. And I've been telling this, and the people who attended with me, they realize this. You must remember these things. Okay, and how do you remember? As long as you practice. And when I'm going to the lesson 2, inshallah ta'ala, next week, I will relate to lesson 1. So you will see, oh, okay, I have done this in lesson 1, so lesson 2 is like this. So when I do it in lesson 2, it will come in lesson 3. So it's all interconnected. Okay, so these four properties of ism is something that you have to remember until this course finishes. And even when you go to the advanced studies, if you intend to do so after this one, inshallah ta'ala, then these are all necessary things that you need to know. So every ism has four properties. They are called status, number, gender, and type. Okay, over the next few weeks, we'll talk about all these four properties, how we understand these four properties. Okay, what we need to memorize about the four properties. Okay, and how we can identify and recognize these four properties from the words of the Quran, from the ism of the Quran. Now, remember one thing: these are the properties of ism, not the properties of fail, not the properties of harf. We are talking about the first kind of word, which is ism. These four properties belong to ism. Harf, the one that we're going to learn along with the ism and along with the fail as we go through. Okay, harf has no properties like this. Okay, fail has different properties. Okay, not like this. Okay, it is only something that belongs to ism. Okay, so status, number, gender, and time. What is status means? What is number mean? What is gender mean? We're going to talk about this now, inshallah ta'ala. And we'll start obviously with number one, that is status. Okay, so far what we learned that there are three kinds of words in Arabic, in the Quran, and in Arabic language. The first kind is called ism. That is the biggest group, you can say, because ism has so many things inside it: noun, pronouns. Okay, like Ahmed is a noun, the word Allah is a noun, the word Muhammad is a noun, the place like Mecca and the Medina, Sydney, Australia, all these things are ism. Okay, not only that, adverbs and adjectives, they are also ism. Like and this brother is very tall, so tall is an ism. If I say my car is red color, okay, the red is an ism. If I say that my boy is running fast, okay, the fast is an ism, it's adverb. Okay, so any kind of things that makes in English similar to adjective and adverb, they comes under status. Okay, so this comes under ism. And then we learn that there is another group called fail. We don't need to worry about the fail at the moment, at least for next few months for sure. Okay, because the ism study is the bigger study. Okay, fail will come towards the end of the course. Like you can see the second half of this course, inshallah ta'ala. So at least for the next few months, only thing you remember that fail is something. If you know the meaning of that, it is an action, a real action done in the past, or happening now, or it's going to be in the future, just like past, present, and future. Very simple. Okay, and then the properties of the fail and everything that's coming later, inshallah ta'ala. Harf is something that we're going to learn along with the ism that we're learning now. That is nothing but kind of very similar to the preposition. Doesn't make a sense by itself unless there's a word after it. Then the next lesson we are learning that every ism has four properties: status, number, gender, and type. So let's start with status, inshallah ta'ala. And out of these four, again, these four properties that we're going to learn over the next 3-4 weeks, inshallah ta'ala, we'll do a lot of exercise and homeworks and stuff like that. Okay, status is the bigger section. The number, gender, and type is very easy after that. Okay, so the status one was the first one, and we took the first challenge to learn the properties of ism. And which property? The status property, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so this is the first of our four properties. Status has to do with the role of an ism, of missing here, of an ism is playing in a sentence. Okay, for example, if I say Ammar was playing soccer, okay, the ankle of Ammar got hurt. The doctor gave Ammar a bandage. Now look, the word Ammar appeared in all three sentences. And as I said, that I'm going to give you an example in English. Okay, slowly we'll move it to Arabic. Okay, inshallah. So have patience. Don't think, okay, what is this examples have to do with the Quran? I never had a surah where there's a ayah called Ammar was playing soccer, right? So don't think like that, okay? So these are examples to understand because we all English spoken, okay? So let's start the thing with English so that it's easy for understand, and then we'll keep going into every lesson. We'll gain inshallah our knowledge, and we'll go to the Arabic part inshallah. So here, the first sentence, Ammar is doing the action actually. Who is playing soccer? Ammar was playing soccer. So he is the one who's the doer of the sentence. Okay. If anyone look at this sentence, Ammar was playing soccer, what they're gonna think? Who's the doer? Who's actually playing the soccer? Who's the main guy here? Okay. So it's Ammar. He's the one playing. Now the next one is a different kind of sentence. The ankle of Ammar got hurt. So what got hurt? Is Ammar got hurt? No, the ankle of Ammar got hurt. So Ammar is there. Ammar is not vanished there, but he is there. But he comes as if like he's telling something, giving us more information. Okay, so the whose ankle was hurt? Ammar's ankle. So the hurt part is related to the ankle. Okay, but to know more about the ankle, we have whose ankle is there. So Ammar ankle. Okay, so this is a different role. You can't say Ammar is playing the main role in this second sentence, right? We cannot say that because the first one we can easily say that Ammar was playing soccer, but here Ammar is there giving us more information and telling us that this is something related to the ankle, and the ankle is the main part actually got hurt. Now the third one, the doctor gave Ammar a bandage. Who gave the bandage to Ammar? The doctor. So the doctor is the main person here. Is Ammar still there? Yes, Ammar is still there, but he has a different role now, as if like he is kind of been something to done to. So if I say, who's the main guy in the third one? The doctor is the main doer of the sentence. But what did he do? He gave a bandage. Okay, he gave a bandage to who? To Ammar. Okay, now Ammar comes. So Ammar becoming a details of the sentence. So when you keep asking the question about the third action, so the doctor did an action. What did he do? He gave something. Okay, so gave is a past tense. Right? He did something in the past. So the gave is the action. That, you can say the failed, right? But his action is not all. If I stop the doctor gave, that's also a sentence. The doctor gave, but not enough. Not enough information. When I said doctor gave Ammar a bandage, so that we get two more information. So doctor gave what? A bandage. To who? To Ammar. Okay. So now we can see in the three sentences, the word Ammar is playing a different role, right? So the first one, it is the main, doer. The second one, it is coming as a relationship with another word, the ankle of Ammar, or you can say Ammar's ankle with the apostrophe S, right? Got her. In the third one, it's like more detail of another sentence, another action that someone else did. The doctor did something, and the doctor did to Ammar. So that's why Ammar is giving a details. So we can see that same word. Okay, if I tell you, if you know who is Ammar, okay, and you have a photo of Ammar, it's okay. Instead of the word Ammar, put a photo there wherever you see Ammar. So it will be the same photo, same person, right? But although it's the same person, there are different role in different sentences. That role is called status. Okay, that role is called status. Okay, so Ammar has a different status in sentence number 1. Ammar has a second status in sentence number 2, and Ammar has a different status in sentence number 3. I think someone is asking a question. Let's see. Means we need to consider subject of the sentence. Yes, that's a good way to say it. Brother Sarwar, I think he said that we need to consider the subject of the sentence. In what he's trying to say, the first one, the subject was Ammar. Okay. In the second one, he's kind of related to the subject, but not the real subject. The third one, as you can say, he's not a subject at all. He's the object. If you want to explain it in an English way. Okay. But status works in a different way in Arabic, and we'll come into that, inshallah. So in English, it is very easy for us if I say that, okay, when is Ammar is subject? When is Ammar is not a subject related to the subject? When is Ammar is not even related to the subject, it's the object? How do in English we know because we learn English from a childhood, right? But Arabic, how are we going to know that? Because in Arabic, to be honest, Ammar is Ammar, okay? And and we'll see something now, inshallah, that it doesn't even come. You can't just say, okay, any word comes at the beginning will be the doer. No, it cannot be like that. It could be at the end of the sentence, it could be the middle of the sentence. So that's why the first properties of ism status, we're going to find out how can we identify an status. Okay. Now let's talk about some more examples. There are three forms of isms. Okay, so as we learn from these three examples, doer of the action, which is the brother said as it could be said as a subject. Okay, the details of the action, and something after of. So the word of, something that comes after of, the owner of. So who is the owner of the anchor? The anchor belongs to who? Okay, so something that's after of. So there are three forms of status of an ism. Okay, so every ism has four properties: status, number, gender, and type. We are learning about status today, and we'll be learning about status for the next few weeks too. Okay, because there are a few things to learn about status. And as I said, status is the bigger part. Okay, now in the status, now we are saying that with the three example, the status of an ism have three different action, you can say, or action may confuse the word. There are three different types of status, you can say that. Okay, three different forms of status. Okay, so one is the doer, one is the details, and one is after of. Okay, let's look at some examples. Okay, Zainab ate ice cream. In this one, the Zainab is an ism, obviously. It's a name of a person. Okay. Ate is an action, it's a fail. Okay. And ice cream is the details. Okay. And in this sentence, in English sentence, Zainab is one of the form of the status, and obviously is the doer, just like Ammar was playing soccer. And as the brother Sarwar said, this is the subject. Zainab is the subject here. On the other hand, ice cream is also a ism. Ice cream is also an ism. Okay. And here, is the ice cream doing something? No, ice cream is the details. Okay, so ice cream, the status of the ice cream, if you think in Arabic, it is the details. What did Jainab eat? Ice cream. So when you ask a question about the fail is eat here. Okay, or ate in the past. So when you ask, Zainab ate what? What did she eat? Okay, so ice cream. So that is the detail. So we can see in this three-word English example, there are two ism, Zainab and ice cream. How do you know they're ism? Because we just said ism could be a name, a person, a place, a thing, whatever, right? So Zainab is a person, ice cream is a thing, okay? And eight is, because we know it's a fail. How? Because we know what is eight means, right? Okay, how do you say it in Arabic? That's different thing, that's coming later, okay? But as long as the English goes, we know eight means that it is a fail. So these three words, two of them are ism. One ism is in a doer status, which is Zainab. One is, ism is a detail status, which is ice cream. Okay, let's look at the next one. Allah created the skies. Almost say very similar things, right? So the word Allah, and when you say when you have examples, because in the Quran there's a lot of examples with the word Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So never say that Allah is ism here. Don't say like that way. That is not the right way to say. Always say the word Allah. Okay, the word Allah is ism here. The word Allah is in this status. So use the word Allah. Okay, and if you by mistake, you say that because you're new to the code, that's fine. Allah will forgive us, inshallah. But be careful, be conscious that when you use the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you say the word Allah. Okay, so the word Allah here is the subject, as the brother said, or you can say in a doer status. Okay, created, just like eight is a fail again, and the skies are details here. What did Allah create? The skies. Okay, number three, Karim was driving his car. Karim was driving his car. Okay, now Karim obviously is the doer here. Okay, and driving is the fail. Okay, the action. His car, has two things here: his and car, right? So car obviously is a his car is a detail. What was he driving? He's driving his car. Okay, not his friend's car. But between the word his and car, you can see there is a relationship. The same sentence we can say in a broken English or a different English. You can say Karim was driving the car of Karim's. His car means whose car? His own car. It's a car of Karim. So his car actually has a relationship thing. Okay, it's kind of a word. There's an off word hidden after that, and we're going to talk about after of a bit more, inshallah ta'ala. But here, the car and the his. So he's actually car of him or car of Karim. So he is actually the status after of, and car is the details. Okay, his car is the details. So what if there is a no action in a sentence? So these all three sentences we did, and all in the left side, the Ammar ones, all have an action in that, like playing soccer, got hurt, gave a bandage, Zainab ate ice cream, and he created, Allah created the skies, Karim was driving. So everything has action. But if there is a word like the sentence like the day of judgment is scary, so where is the action here? There's no action here. And as I said, it doesn't have to have an action. If I say, the day of judgment is scary, okay, that is a full sentence. Okay, and in this one, the main word although there is no doer here because nobody is doing any action, the main word is the day of judgment. And the scary is also another ism, okay? And you cannot say that, uh, because you can't say scary is a details here. It is also kind of like a doer. It's a main point. So there's two things in this sentence where there is no action that we can say, okay, one part the part that we're talking about what? Day of judgment. And we're telling some properties of these things, okay? Maybe what is day of judgment like? Okay, it's gonna be scary, okay? So both kind of, there's no action here, there's no doer here, but both playing the main role here and separated by a small is. And we're going to talk about more how the is get constructed in Arabic, inshallah ta'ala. The house of Allah is nice. The house of Allah, okay? So here the word Allah comes after of, okay? And we say there is a form of ism that comes after of, just like the ankle of Ammar, the house of Allah. So the house is in the main form, the doer form, you can say here. The word Allah comes after the English word of. So because it's a relationship, whose house we're talking about? The house of Allah, and it is nice. Okay, and the nice is also an ism here. Remember, so everything is ism here in different status. Okay, in all these three kind of status. Okay. And my name is Muhammad. Again, the same thing, my name, whose name? My name. So the word my, actually, I can say name of mine, okay, but we don't talk like that in English, okay? That's like an ancient kind of English, but that is the sense here, name of mine or my name, okay? So the word my in also in the third form, the after of form, and the Muhammad is the in the form that is the main, the component. I'm saying my name is Muhammad, okay? So this is in English, the very quick an introductory understanding of the three forms of an status. And what is the status? Status is one of the property. In this, initially, because brothers and sisters get confused, because we say there are three kinds of words. That's three kinds, okay? Then we say one kind is ism, and it has four properties. And then in the properties, the status has three different forms of isms, okay? So don't get confused. So start from the beginning again. There are three kinds of words: ism, fail, and harf. Forget about fail for the time being. Don't worry about it now, okay? Harf is coming later. So we're talking about ism. Every ism has four properties, okay? And the four properties: status, number, gender, and type. And over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about each of them. And we're talking about status now. And status itself has three other branches or three other forms. One is like a doer of the main word of the sentence. One is the details, and one that comes after of, or where in English you can say apostrophe s. And we're going to do more examples of this, inshallah ta'ala, and then you will understand. Okay, so status in a way we can say like doer, details, and after of. Now we get some Arabic, okay, some Arabic title of this, okay. The doer of a sentence, like the Ammar was a doer, Zainab ate the ice cream, okay, the word Allah created the sky. The doer of a sentence is called Rafa, okay, Rafa, Ra, Fa, and Ain is called Rafa, okay. The detail is called Nasab, and the word that comes after the word of is called Jar, okay. I shouldn't say the word is called jar, the status, because that's why it says status in a big, letters, right? So the status of that word could be Rafa, okay? Now, the status of an ism can change depending on how they're using. That's why we saw the example of Ammar, right? So Ammar was a doer in the first example. In the second example, it was the ankle of Ammar, so it became a jar status. In the third example, it became a detail. The doctor gave Ammar a bandage. So he was who did doctor give the Ammar? So the same word has different status, okay? Sometimes it is the Rafa, sometimes it is Nasab, sometimes it is Jar, okay? And there are reasons for words to be Rafa, to be Nasab, and to be Jar, okay? And our job, slowly, inshallah, in a week or two, we'll be able to find out how to identify this status of an ism, okay? The status of an ism. So the Rafa is also known as the default status. So if we see a ism, okay, even the word ism means what? Ism means in Arabic, one of the meaning of ism means names, okay, names, or you can say noun, okay. Even that word is a ism itself, right? And by default, if you see a word and you don't see any other clue, the word itself should be Rafa, okay. It should be, the default status is Rafa. And it becomes nasab or jar because of some of the reasons. A word doesn't become a nasab or jar status without any reason. They must have some reason to get it nasab or jar. Okay, and inshallah over the course of the time in this basic course we will be learning that when it is a nasab and when it is jar. At the moment what we are learning that these are the three status it can be. Okay, and inshallah next step is to recognize these three status, and then third stage will be how we know when it becomes nasab, when it becomes jar. Okay, that will come inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so rafa is also known as the default status. If there is no reason for an ism to be put in another status, it remains in the rafa status. Okay, nasab, the details nasab refers to additional information about the action. When looking for a detail in a sentence, follow a two-step process, find the action and the doer. Everything else in the sentence is a detail. So what is that going to say? Like if you have a long sentence, you know who's the doer, who's doing the sentence, and you know the action. Like, for example, Zainab ate ice cream. Okay, so the if you find that everything else should be a details. Okay, everything else should be a details. Okay, like for example, Muhammad ate chocolate at home yesterday happily because he was hungry. So Muhammad is the doer, he is the one who ate the chocolate, right? Ate is the action done in the past. What did he eat? Chocolate. Where did he eat? At home. When did he eat? Yesterday. How did he eat? Happily. Why did he eat? He was hungry. So all these question, when, where, how, all this, why, all these questions are detail, 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 and detail. Okay. So what is trying to say here, and all these details are called in the nasab status. So chocolate, at home, yesterday, happily, because he was hungry, all this kind of word. They are not only one word, there are some other words to that. But for the English example we're talking about, all these words are nasab status at the moment. Okay, at the moment they are nasab because they are the details of the action. So you ask any question about the eat action, the details are coming. What did he eat? When did he eat? Why did he eat? All these things, they're coming as an action. Okay, so this is rafa and this is nasab. Let's talk about the jar. After of is quite literally the word that occurs after of. Take a look at the following example. Advisor of the king. So the king, the king, the word the king, the two word the king is in the status of jar because that comes after of. In this fragment, the king is the word that after of. Okay. There are three ways to say after of in English. Okay, we can say using the word of, like say house of Fatima. You can see the word of, right? We can also say Fatima's house. Okay, that is also of. There's a hidden of here. Okay, this is a way in English that we can say apostrophe s, right? We can also say, without using a name, her house or my house or your house. Okay, that is also, there's of here. Her house means it's ownership, right? Who the house belongs to her. So all these three examples, the three ways to say, the word after of in the first one, house of Fatima. So the word Fatima is in jar status. Okay, don't say the word Fatima is jar. You can say that, I mean, but understand when you're saying it so, but you understand the Fatima is a ism. And every ism has four properties. In this sentence or in this fragment of the house of Fatima, the word Fatima is an ism, and the status of this ism is jar. Okay, if I ask you, I'm just jumping again a little bit. What is the gender of Fatima? Obviously, you said that brother is a female. We all know Fatima is a female name. So that is the gender of the sentence. Okay. So, and what is the number here? Is it Fatima is one person, 2%, or 3%? Okay. Of course, it's one person we're talking about. So it's number is singular. Okay. But we're going to learn more about number and gender that coming up in the next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. There's another way to say that, Fatima's house. Okay. But in Arabic, it's the only one way. But you just to make you understand, don't think, oh, I will always see the word of. No, sometimes the of is hidden. Okay, in English, like Fatima's house. Okay, that's the same word, house of Fatima. Okay, but in this word, Fatima is again still in the jar status. Doesn't mean that in the previous example, the Fatima was after of. That's because it's jar. And here it is not after of. I don't see any of in number 2. Oh, there's no jar here. No, don't say that. There is a jar here. The of is kind of hidden. Same thing with the third one. There is no name here. It's just a pronoun, and the pronoun is making a relationship. Whose house is the her house? So there's two words, her and house. So the word her is a pronoun, and pronoun is an ism. In English, pronoun is a separate category, right? But as we say, the ism has almost everything, right? So this ism her is a pronoun in English, and the status of this her is in jar status because actually it comes after of, house of her. Okay, if you say like that way, right? So this is all three ways that you can see and find out jar. Okay, now this is the translation of Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay, very simple translation. I just chose this from the internet. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praises and thanks to for Allah, the Lord of the Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the most gracious, most merciful. The Malik Yawmuddin. Okay, so as you can see, I have marked colored few of them. In the word in, okay, if you think of that, what the word in could be. Is it a ism? Is it a fail? Is it a harf? Can anyone answer? Just unmute yourself and tell me. What do you think about the in word in? Whatever we learned so far, depending on that, just tell me. What do you think about the word in? Anyone?
It's a harf.
It's a harf, yes, because it's like a preposition. Very simple, right? The name, the word, the name. Forget about where it's coming after in or what, but the name. What is that one? Is it an action? Obviously not. It's a name. This is ism. Okay, the ism. The word of, the word Allah is coming after of. So we know the word Allah is obviously ism because Allah is our Lord. Allah is the word Allah is an ism. But if I ask you one more, bit is ahead, that what is the status of this ism, the word Allah? So what would be the status? Is it Rafa Nasab Jar? Yeah, jar. So Brother Sarwar says jar because why is jar? And then every time you answer a question or someone else answer a question, try to understand the reason. Then it will be stick in your head because it comes after off. We can clearly see the word off here. Okay, so the name of Allah, which is Bismillah. Okay, that's the meaning of it. The Bismillah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. These are also ism. So in fact, number 2, number 3, number 4, all of them has only isms and isms and ism. There's no real action. So we are praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praise and thanks. So all the praise for who? For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And who is the Lord of the Alameen? Okay, so the Lord of the heavens and the earth, right? The most gracious, the most merciful. There's no action here also, like the real fail here, okay? The owner or the Malik, the owner or the king of the day of judgment, of the day of judgment. So the day of judgment also comes, and there's two of here. King of the day of the judgment. So as you can see, the day is also in jar status because after of, and the of the judgment, the judgment is also after of. So this is also in jar status. Okay, we alone, you are the one we worship. Okay, you alone we worship. Now worship is a different color, and this is an action. Okay, because worship is something that we do, our ibadah, right? Iyyaka na'budu. Okay, so worship is an action here. It's a fail. That's why I marked that. Obviously, you is again a pronoun, and it is an ism here. Okay, we also kind of here, kind of an ism. Okay, we also kind of ism because we is a pronoun also. And you alone, we ask for help. Ask is another fail. So for the first 4 ayah, there's no action, like no fail, as you can say, right? But in the 5th ayah, we found 2 fail. Okay, so worship and action. Okay, guide us, and guide is an action. So something Allah, we're asking Allah, please guide us. So it is an action, right? So it's another action to the straight path. Okay, and the straight path is again Sirat al-Mustaqim is another ism. Okay, or maybe 2 ism here. So the way of those, the way of whose, on whom you have bestowed your grace. Okay, so Sirat al-Lazina anamta alayhim. Okay, and here you have bestowed. You have bestowed. So the bestowed is in the past tense, or you can say the perfect past tense. Okay, and this is also a fail here, and not the way of those your anger, or nor of those who err astray. So as we can see in our Fatiha, and I'm giving it in English. I'm not going to the Arabic in the first lesson, obviously. Inshallah, we'll go to Arabic very soon in Fatiha, and you should be able to find out how you can see the ism and the fail and how it works. Inshallah ta'ala, that is our main goal. But as for now, at lesson 1, the English example, we can see that, these are the way we can see in English that, oh, this is an action because the meaning of the English word, okay, in, okay, and, of, and all these things are this way. If you're wondering that, the word off, okay, which we're going to talk about, inshallah, next week or so, is this similar to in? Because in is also a preposition, and in English, I think off is also called a preposition, or maybe something like that. It doesn't make any sense by itself. But, there is no word for off in Arabic, actually. Okay, and we'll learn that soon. Just like I said, there's no word like, is, am, or are, okay, in Arabic. There's no word for off, okay, but it comes in the translation. If we say, okay, brother, if there's no word for off, how I'm going to know that it is a jar status? Yes, that's what we're going to learn, inshallah. You will know, inshallah, no problem, okay? So, and the next one, I think this is the last topic for today, Alhamdulillah. So what we learned again, just a quick review before I think we just crossed 2-3 minutes over. So if you don't mind, I'll just summarize the things that we learned. Okay, so we learned about the intention, the purpose, the prerequisite of this course today, inshallah ta'ala. And I hope to see you all back in next week, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah give you tawfiq, okay? Make your intention clear to continue this course, inshallah ta'ala, okay? The second thing, we started our lesson today and we learned that, there are 3 kinds of words, and inshallah, I believe, even if you do not join for any valid reason, you will remember this lesson that, I learned there are 3 kinds of words in Arabic. Whenever I open a page of the Quran, any word I pick, it will be either of these 3 kinds, okay? And what are these 3 kinds? Ism, fail, or harf, okay? Isms is our main goal now. That's going to be our first section of the course. We're going to talk about more about ism. Fail is coming soon, inshallah ta'ala, after that. And harf will come along with ism and fail both, okay? And then we started talking about our ism status. We say every ism, like a car, like a normal car, not a truck, okay, like a normal car, it has 4 wheels or 4 properties, okay? Status, number, gender, and type, okay? Okay, don't question yourself now that what is number, how it works. That no, will come. So let's go slow. Okay, we're talking about status only, and we talked about status with the help of few English sentence examples. Okay, we said, Ammar is playing soccer, Allah created the skies, and all these things we learned about. And we know that status can be of 3 forms. Okay, mainly Rafa, which is the doer, Nasab is the details, and Jar, a word that comes after off. Okay, and then we did our Surah Fatiha in an English translation of Surah Fatiha and try to pick ourselves. Okay, what is the ism here? Is there a word? Can I see any word that comes after off? Okay, yes, I can see some of them. Is there a word which sounds like a fail? Something that's a real action. Okay, not like an ism or r. Okay, yes, there are a few words like that too. Okay, so inshallah ta'ala, with this, we're gonna go to our next slide. Just a reminder for all of us that and just an inspiration for myself, a motivation for myself and all of you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in one of the ayah of the Quran, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِّرٍ. Allah is saying not 1 time, 4 times, the same ayah in the same surah, 4 times. And it means that, I have definitely made Quran easy for you. Yassarna means, I made easy for you. We made easy for the Quran for you. Allah is saying it made easy. You can't say it's difficult. Allah is already telling us, it's Allah's ayah. He's telling you, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. Definitely, I made Quran easy for you. Then he said, فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Is there anyone there try to remember? Is there anyone there try to put some effort to learn this, to remember this, okay? And that's what we need to do. It is easy, brother. Believe me, it is easy as long as you put your time and effort and be consistent. Inshallah, Allah will make it easy. And the last thing I'm going to talk about the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the famous hadith, okay, narrated by Usman ibn Affan. He said, "Khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allamahu." The best among you are those who learn the Quran and teaches it to others. And look at this, even in this hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned whose group first, the one who learn, and then the one who teach later. Obviously, the one who teach, he learned. That's why he can teach, right? Without learning, you can't teach, okay? And I want every one of you, inshallah ta'ala, finish this course. And like me, once I did the course, and Allah give me opportunities, Allah bless me, that, I could teach some other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brothers and sisters, to sharing my knowledge, not teaching, I'm sharing this one. And I wish that, once you finish this, you also share your knowledge and be among those people. Khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allamahu. The best among you are those who learn the Quran and teaches to others. And with this, inshallah ta'ala, I finish my talk for today, inshallah ta'ala, and hope to see you all in next week. If some of you wants to join the Wednesday session, okay, which is I think 7 p.m. on Wednesday, I sent you a couple of emails, you may join, no problem, okay? It doesn't mean that just because you do Sunday, you can't do Wednesday. If you have time, that's fine. And, you can do both session if you think I need some more review on that, okay? And I will send this recording, okay, after the Wednesday class, okay, because I need to process this one, okay? So I'll send a link of this video, just like I used to do before, and you'll have the recording of this and also the slides, in a PDF format. I will send this one, okay? And as I said, if anything that you not understand today, you can ask me the question now, okay? Or as I said, do not hesitate to call or message me for any lesson, anything. And inshallah, I will try my best to give you the time to make you understand, inshallah ta'ala. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to pray, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our sins. And this time that we have passed, in the last 1 hour, make it a blessings for all of us and forgive our sins with that. Jazakallahu khairan, subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. I will stay here. I'll stop the recording here. And then if you have any question for today,